Greetings, everybody. My name is Simon Javan Okelo, and I'm excited to be here with you today. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. It's Thursday evening, Seattle time, and I'm extremely excited to be here with you, especially because we will be talking about the Northwest Art Streaming Hub and also how art can be used as a tool for resistance. And today I'm joined by my dear sister Aramis Hammer. So just give me a moment for me to loop her into this conversation. One moment. Hello. Hi, how are you?
Hey Simon, I am well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Looks like you're driving.
No, that would be very unsafe. I'm not. I'm sitting in the car actually.
Nice, nice,
I'm out with some friends in the hubby, and so
nice.
I'm taking a little break and sitting in the car. And
Yeah,
yeah, I'm happy to be joining you. It's so good to see your face. I feel like it's been
yeah.
too long.
I
It's been too
know.
long.
I know, man. Thank you for making the time for us to have this conversation today.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
um. You were one of the first people who interviewed me, Simon. I don't know
I
if you
remember
remember.
that. I remember
Yeah,
that. I can
yeah.
never
This might have
forget
been
that.
like 4 or 5 years ago,
Yeah,
in Rue Salon in Renton. So I'm like, you know
yeah,
what? You reached out. I'm like, you
yeah,
have been A1 since day one. So
yeah.
I definitely wanted to definitely make sure that I made the time because
I
you have
appreciate it.
always made the time for me. So thank you
Of
so
course,
much.
of
And
course.
yeah, I'm happy to chat with you.
Perfect. Well, for the sake of those who are joining us for this conversation, I just want to let them know who Aramis is, and then
I
we'll
see
we'll
my girl
begin.
Kayla just came through. Hey, boo. Hey,
Nice,
Katie. I
nice,
see you.
nice, nice. So I'm just going to introduce you and also then introduce what we're going to cover today. Then we'll just chat and then I'll go over what we will have talked about. So today we are going to have a conversation with my dear friend who is an artist and leader and someone who is really living the dream according to me. And so Aramis creates works of art using acrylic paints, and Aramis made the decision to pursue her art career after leaving her hometown in Chicago and moving to Seattle in 2013. With the support of her family and husband Andy, who is right there with her right now, Aramis dedicated herself to art. And I've witnessed this journey happen, before my eyes, and just how you've transitioned yourself from something that you could have probably you were probably dreaming of when you are still very young. And looks like your network is just your network is a little slow, but I'm sure you're going to be able to respond to me. Currently, you're frozen. For those who are joining us, my name is Simon Javan Okelo. I'm the founder and executive director of One Vibe Africa. And right now, I'm having an amazing conversation with my dear sister, Aramis Hammer. And okay, I know that she hears me. I just see her message. And we are going to talk about Aramis' story, and we are going to talk about why I joined the Northwest Art Streaming Hub, and this is a website that we are going to link it we are going to pin it for you in a moment. Um, and yeah, we'll just be patient, Aramis. It's okay. Um, and then we are going to talk about how art is something that you can use as a tool for resistance. And then we'll wind up by Aramis letting us know how you can all stay in touch with her and connect with her, so that we can all support the work that she's doing. So at the moment, I just want you, my dear, to, if you can hear me. Oh, there you are. There you are.
Yes, I can hear you. I was trying to
Yeah,
see if I can hop on somebody's Wi-Fi
yeah,
out
yeah.
out here, but yeah, I was still hearing you.
Perfect. Now, a lot of people are always curious. I know that in 2013 is when you got to Seattle, and I really saw you, blossoming as a creative, as an artist. But I wanted you to take us back to, your childhood, like when you were an artist as a child, because, I'm a father of three girls and I see how crazy they are about art. For example, yesterday they were watching a movie and I told them, I want you to draw one thing you remember from the movie and add colors to it. And then they came up with the animals they saw in the movie. And then at lunchtime yesterday, look how this is how hard I had to prepare for this conversation today. I was experimenting. So at lunchtime I told them, can you draw what you ate for lunch? And they added so many colors and I was like, I have to ask Aramis when she was an artist as a child.
Yes, I think that's an awesome question, Simon. Yeah, I definitely just wanted to say, hey, I see Martha had came through. I also see that my friend Jeanette came through. So I'm so happy that they're there and taking the time to watch us today. Yeah, I've always been creating ever since I was young. So for me, it was actually family photos. So I would, my mom loved photos. She was always taking pictures. So our house was just surrounded in so many photos. So I remember just trying to sketch and draw my relatives. So I would draw my baby pictures. I would draw my mom's pictures. Actually, quite a few of my family members still have these photos that I drew of them back in the day in their frame. They're hanging in their home. So yeah, family has been supportive A1 since day one. Shout out to all the family in Chi-Town who always been holding me down. But as a kid, I was always just drawing and sketching. I feel like I didn't really start exploring painting until I was in high school. So in high school, my sophomore year was when I first started exploring acrylic paints. So that's when I started kind of diving more into color and really stepping out of just like marker or color pencil. I started to dive into the realm of acrylic paints. And when I actually first started painting, I did not like it at all. It was extremely difficult. It was extremely hard. I couldn't blend. Actually, I remember I was trying to paint one of my school friends, Black brother, beautiful melanated skin, similar to us, and I just could not mix the color palette. Like I couldn't get the right brown that I felt like resonated to really let his personality show. So I ditched that painting and painted him blue. So blue was the first color that I used to start a portrait that has now like been my signature style of painting blue people, purple, orange, all these different colors. But back in the day, I did attempt standard color, standard, skin tones, but yeah, like, and so then when I saw him painted in blue, I was like, oh, I kind of like this. And I'm like, why not explore something different and new? Here's a canvas, here's an opportunity to create something that's never been seen before. So yeah, start from there. Oh, we got Crystal in the house from high school. And speaking of high school, Crystal and I was like both on the cheerleading team back in the day. All right.
Wow.
I see Kamisha is here. Hey family. Hey everybody.
Wow.
So yeah, that's where it all started really back in high school.
Wow. Thank you all for joining us. It's to see all the beautiful people that support you from childhood that are here with us. 2013, you came to Seattle and this is a new place for you. Similar to how I moved to Seattle in 2010, I had to have dinners at people's houses and show them videos of the work I was doing with One Vibe in Kenya and build community to where One Vibe is today, And I kind of saw you do that, but I also saw your art speaking for you. For example, when we were at Rue's Salon in Renton, before you came, when we were doing that very first interview, I was looking at your art and they were all like speaking directly to me. And so in my mind, now that we are talking of the very first interview we did, I was, thinking to myself, like, what do your artwork tell people while you're absent from those locations?
That's a really good question. I feel like art just has so much power to resonate with people on an individual level. So I feel like it's my responsibility to create authentically and just what naturally flows from me. And however the person interprets it, it's really just their own subjective perspective of what's going on in their life, how they see my artwork. what past experiences that they had with maybe similar subject matter, you know. So I think it's definitely unique for each individual. But like what I would hope for people to see, and like what I would hope for it to say is truly power, liberation, strength, black girl magic, liberation, love, light, and like all the things, you know. And for me, like whenever I create, I feel so powerful and I feel so strong. I truly feel omnipotent. Like I'm able to create all of this color from just a white blank surface. And now something new and different has now been birthed that was never there before. It feels so empowering. It feels super empowering. So I hope that people feel that when they see that. I really hope that Black women see themselves when they experience my work. I hope that they can connect with the beauty that I'm trying to share with them, and so that they know that they're beautiful, we're powerful, we're strong, and we don't need anybody else to try to say it for us. So as a Black woman, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna say it for us. I'm gonna make sure that that my little brown girl self, when I was 5, that you know, these are the images that I wish that I saw. And yeah, so it always makes me so happy whenever people tell me things like that, Simon. So thank you. I really hope that people hear something or feel something when they see my work, you know.
Right. So your work, again, it does not stop speaking. It speaks to you, whether it's the coronavirus pandemic, whether we are,
Right.
no matter the season, art always looks at you, and it almost says a different thing at a different season to you. But right now, I wanted to take you back to when this coronavirus pandemic happened, and when we were all, told that we are all going to be at home for like a month at the beginning. um, you know, a lot of art leaders, like Vivian Phillips, myself, a number of people who came together to create, NASH, the Northwest Art Streaming Hub, which is, how we are having our conversation today. Um, you know, they when they were pushing me to reach out to you and have this conversation, they were looking up at you, and these are like people I look up to, and I just wanted you to know that Nash has brought people together in a very magical way, but the way that people look up to someone like you right now has elevated artists to another level that I've always wanted.
Oh, thank
you
you.
know
Thank you.
um
So that means a lot. It really does. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. So, for me, I joined the Northwest Art Streaming Hub's advisory board member because I felt like artists need to have a platform that aggregates their content, and artists who cannot have a venue to perform, they could have Nash helping them stream their content. And so, there's a lot of advisory board members from Nash who are also tuned in, like Alex from the Music Commission. I don't see Nash following this conversation, but I just wanted to ensure that I mentioned that they've made it possible for us to have this conversation today. And if there's any artist who is, listening to us, they should check out northwestartstreaminghub.org. And if you don't have a profile there, it's really been good for One Vibe as, with the content we are creating. They literally increase the views for our videos by getting it to more people in the Northwest.
Nice.
So it's
That means that's huge. That's
right,
huge. That
right,
outreach.
right. And so a lot of artists are currently stuck in their houses, and we felt that this would be one of the platforms that helps people, power through this current pandemic. Have you had a chance to check it out yourself?
I haven't. But when you were talking about like during the earlier part of the pandemic, and when people got the information about they had to stay home or just limit exposure, I was just blown away by the amount of creative digital innovation that took place, that where people were viewing content on such a scale that completely like outnumbered in-person venues, you know. So
Right.
I feel like Swiss Beats is doing verses, like these online battles between different
Mm,
artists. And I think like when he did the one of like Erica Badu and Jill Scott, or probably the one before that, it damn near like broke the internet. Like, so it's just,
mm-hmm,
it's so, I feel like this digital space is making so much more stuff accessible for people. One,
mm-hmm,
it's free. It's
mm-hmm,
super easy for somebody like to just be here logging in. I saw Kelly was just here. Hey Kelly, shout out to you. Thank you for joining us today. So I feel like it's super easy for folks to just hop on their phone. If they aren't able to buy tickets to an event, or if somebody's not able to visit an artist studio in person, or if somebody has like physical limitations where they aren't able to drive to a space, for example, like it literally has just knocked down so many barriers to entry,
mm-hmm,
and has like just really brought so much more art to people who didn't have that opportunity before.
mm-hmm,
It's transformed so many things. And it was interesting because like I feel like maybe maybe a year ago or so, I was already starting to expand my online store and really like get more and really get more consistent with just social media and making
right,
sure that I had online content. Last
right.
December, I
Mm.
actually started a YouTube channel, so y'all should
I
definitely check
saw
me out
that.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just providing this opportunity where folks to engage with my artwork more directly, so they don't
Mm,
have to go through any other entity, any other organization. If you
mm,
want to know what I'm up to, you got my Instagram, you have my Patreon, you
mm,
have my YouTube. There's just
mm,
so much that's now available. And I feel
mm.
like people, of course, like people who are like heavy in the social media space or heavy in just like online entrepreneurship, this is common knowledge, you know. But some
Right,
people who felt like, oh, I don't really know how to do that, or you know, I feel
right,
I feel like now it's really made it clear that online resources are important. It's
right,
here, and it's even more important for the artist, and it just
right,
provides so many more opportunities to get your
right,
artwork out there. So
right.
I feel like COVID may have caused like a for real mental shift for folks, where it's like, let me try something new.
Mm-hmm.
And there could be a whole lot of positivity in it, you know.
Right, right. Totally, totally. Now let's talk about Black Lives Matter. All
Hmm.
of us know that the black body is not valued or respected here in America, but also by extension many parts of the world. And art has been a huge part of resistance. For example, in 2007 in Kenya, there was elections that were disputed. Imagine Trump and Hillary, uh, during the previous election, and Hillary's people said, "No, we didn't lose. Let's fight." And so everybody who supported Trump got kicked out in all the regions where Hillary's people were.
Wow.
That's how it was in Kenya. And so if you supported the opposition and you lived where the incumbents people lived, you'd be kicked out. Your houses would be burned down to the ground. So it was chaotic. But there was an artist who had his graffiti gun, and he walked from neighborhood to neighborhood, and he was just writing, you know, uh, peace messages,
Hmm.
peace by any means, peace. So he ended up becoming a celebrity during this chaos because the
Hmm.
media, international media that were covering this chaos, saw that sign in every horrible corner that they went to. So they started looking for the artist who did that. So
Yeah.
when I saw you involved with the Black Lives Matter sign at CHOP, in Capitol Hill, I was just moved.
Hmm.
And at least I could say that one of my friends did that.
Yeah.
So just give us an idea of how you all came together and pulled that off, and also what it meant to you to do that in relation to art being a tool for resistance.
Yeah. So for me, Simon, just like probably like a lot of artists, painting is my tool. And I've probably been crying every day for
Mm,
maybe a month now. It's just
mm,
it's been a lot emotionally. I think a
mm,
lot of people are hurt. For
mm,
me personally,
mm,
I'm hurt. I'm
mm,
tired. I'm still young though, you know, like
Right.
the people who I think about Angela Davis. I think
Mm,
about Dr. Cornel West, who have been in this journey for so
mm,
many decades. And
mm.
it's like, okay, if they still showing up, I'm gonna show up as
Right.
much as I can. That's
Right.
within my capacity. And for
Right.
me, what's in my capacity is creation and
Right.
art.
Right.
So the organizer of the Black Lives Matter mural is Takia Ward. She was
Mm,
also partner. She was also collaborating with Joe Nix
mm,
and Jaffe Witt. So
mm,
these were the three people who pretty much brought us together
mm,
for this mural. And so Takia Ward is a phenomenal artist that's out here in Seattle native, born and raised, has
mm,
been doing this from the very beginning.
mm,
So I pretty much got a text message from her. She was like, "Come on
mm,
out here, we're doing it."
mm,
I was so grateful to be a part of this because during the time I was feeling like a lot of folks probably, which is helpless, which is
mm,
powerless, which is pissed. You know,
mm,
I feel like it's hard to be a Black person in America right now and just not be seething with anger. At the
mm,
same time, I realized that being angry for so long can be
mm.
toxic for my mental, for my
Right.
spiritual, for my everything.
Right.
So I was trying to figure out how do I release? How do
Right.
I let go?
Right.
How do I experience this
Right.
and also let it pass through me?
Right.
And my art has always been a method for me to heal and
Mm,
to like transmit my emotions into a more just brighter light. So of course you
mm,
probably know, just back in the day when I was living in Chicago, I was a nurse. And so
mm,
in nursing, I was working in critical care and seeing a lot of people die, seeing just a lot of
mm,
trauma. And
mm,
I would just come home in my living
mm,
room and
mm,
paint. So that
mm,
was always my method of trying
mm,
to just bring all the confusion and have it
mm,
funnel through a paintbrush. So I
mm.
felt the same call for this mural.
Right.
But I had no
Right.
idea it would become what it has become. And I'm
Mm,
super grateful that the message is getting out there. And it's also been that like affirming power for me. Like
right.
art is powerful.
Right.
Art can stimulate change.
Right.
And art can bring hope. Like for me, I don't know what policies are gonna come from this. I don't know
Mm,
how America or the world will look a year from now, 20 years from
mm,
now. I
mm,
have no idea, but I
mm,
know the messages that I get from people on a daily basis about
mhm,
how my artwork inspires them, or how
mm,
seeing that mural inspired them,
mm,
or seeing my other purple goddess that was at KEXP, like
mm,
seeing photos from
mm,
people of like their little daughter posing in front of that piece, and now they
mm,
feel beautiful because I painted
mm.
this purple goddess who has a broad nose, who has full lips, and who is just
Right.
stunningly beautiful.
Right.
I feel that's where I'm able to help. You know,
Right.
I'm not a politician. I don't
Right.
know who's right. I can't. I have no idea. I can't.
Right.
But what I can do is paint. That's
Right.
that's what I can do. And for
Right.
people to have seen that work across the world is
Mm,
insane. So we
mm,
made prints available of the Black Lives Matter mural, and we were getting orders from Switzerland, from
mm.
like literally from across the
Wow.
pond. People all over the
Wow.
world was seeing
Wow.
this, and I was just like, this is crazy. Thank you
Wow.
so much, the Black Packer. Okay, hopefully hiking. I love hiking and camping. Me and the
Right.
hubby do that all the time. So yeah, so it's just like just trying to show up wherever I can. I feel like in the world today, a lot of
Mm,
people are being shamed, are
mm,
feeling like, oh, you aren't doing it right, you
mm,
said this wrong, it
mm,
should have been done like that.
mm.
I don't know. All I
Right.
know
Right.
is that I know how to pick up a brush. I know how to create in this way that can hopefully inspire something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's truly what it's done.
Right.
We did not get permission to paint that piece,
Mm,
and we didn't need permission.
right.
So now what's interesting is that a lot of organizations are now reaching out like, oh, how can we be a part of this? How can
Mm,
we show solidarity? How can we support?
mm,
So I think that shows you right there, like as artists, we have power.
mm,
We don't need an organization to help make change on our behalf. We
mm.
can go out there and do it ourselves. And that's
Right.
exactly what took place. peace.
Right.
And yeah, I'm just so honored to have been a part of it. I painted one letter, which was V, and there were so many other artists who were a part of creating each individual letter. But yeah, I'm just happy to have contributed my part to the piece.
Thank you. Thank you so much. For those who are joining us, I just want you all to know that, we are having this conversation courtesy of Northwest Art Streaming Hub. And this is a website that is bringing Seattle arts organizations and artists together, and is also helping aggregate content for, all the artists and organizations who are on that site. It's also helping artists and organizations who are on that site to stream their content, especially now that we are all home because of the coronavirus pandemic. I'll be able to summarize to you what our conversation has been looking like in just a moment before we wind up. But Aramis, I wanted to just speak to you a little bit about Africa. I think you've been to Ghana at least 2 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, think about the first time you went and the last time you went, and the things that you've done in between. And imagine that you ran into one of the girls that you guys have been helping in Ghana, and just tell them, how being a chop and drawing that V and just being here with me right now feels like,
Yeah, look, I already told you something. I've been crying every day. Okay, so I've been letting myself cry. If I cry today, then that happens.
mm,
I feel like, man, uh, going to Africa was so transformative for me.
mm,
Um, I feel like we are told so much BS. I'm trying to
mm.
filter myself because I have a potty mouth, so I'm trying to be good. Um, we are just,
Mm,
especially black women, like we are constantly told how unworthy we are, and
mm,
to go to Ghana and to be surrounded by so much beauty and
mm,
art and color and music, and those
mm,
people looked like me, and I was like,
mm,
oh, me, like this is a part of me, like
mm,
this is where I come from. And
mm,
so the narrative that I was told, that this community doesn't want me, or
mm,
that I'm inferior,
mm,
I'm ugly.
mm,
This I literally saw the complete opposite, and was just
mhm,
I was able to connect with a
mm,
community and culture that has already been a part of me,
mm,
that I feel like has systematically, intentionally tried to break apart the African American community from the African community. Because
mhm,
once that connection is made mentally, there
mm,
is strength. And
mm,
I feel like I've been able to show up because I'm able to draw on the resilience and strength and power and fortitude of my
mm,
ancestors that came before me. So
mm,
I like, when people think about us in this COVID pandemic, on top
mm,
of this civil unrest and this revolution that's taking place, I
mm,
literally think about some of those slave dungeons that I visited when I went to Ghana. And I'm like,
mm,
if my ancestors are able to endure this,
mhm,
I am more than enough. I am more than capable to
mm,
endure some of the mess that is going on
mhm,
in these Americas.
mhm.
So I feel like I draw on that strength daily, and it
Right.
truly motivates me to continue to create and to continue to help Black people, help Black
Mm,
women
mm,
unlearn
mm,
this inferiority complex that has
mm,
just been a part of our story for so long, that it
mm,
does not have to be. And so I
right.
feel so strong, and like, oh my God, it just lights me up whenever I
I
think
saw
about
that.
Ghana.
I saw
Yeah, and
that.
like whenever I think about that experience,
Mm,
it was truly life changing. And
mm,
yeah,
yeah,
I just want people to know that we are worthy. We are
right,
worthy.
right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Man, one thing that I have to tell you is that you're such an orator. You can talk. You're gifted. And I can't just tell you how much I enjoy seeing some of your videos. Even Even if it's just a PSA video, I look at it and I'm like, let me watch this again. So
Thank you, Simon. You know what's crazy? And I try to tell people this too, because I
yeah.
feel like people, like people who feel that I can speak well, or like I can, I can like
Hmm.
communicate a message.
Hmm.
Um, I wasn't always that way. I actually grew up with a very severe stutter. I had a really bad
Mm,
stutter. Like it would take
mm,
me forever to say things, and it was just a struggle, and I would just get so
mm,
frustrated. So I
mm,
try to let people know that whatever story that you kind of grew up with, or whatever idea or whatever identity you associated with yourself, it can
mm.
be changed, and mine
Right.
has truly been changed.
Mm,
And so it's like I always laugh whenever, because I hear that often. I always
mm.
laugh because I'm like, man, if you knew me when I was 12,
Yeah.
like I was just like
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's unbelievable
yeah.
to hear you say that. Now, I just want to ask you to share with us, how people can stay connected with you and how people can learn more about your work, and also to answer any question that I didn't ask you. We are coming to the end of our conversation.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, people can definitely find me on Instagram. I try to stay as active as possible on my Instagram account. So you all see it here. That's at AO Hamer. Definitely my website, which is the same thing, aohamer.com. I recently started a YouTube channel, so you can find that, AO Hamer, and my Patreon. So I'm cultivating a tribe over there on my Patreon of like long-term supporters who want to continue to support my work. So I definitely encourage people to check out all those different platforms. If anybody wants to connect, I'm happy to connect. Email is the best way. I'm slowly kind of getting worse and worse with checking my DM. So yeah, emails is definitely the best way to connect on social.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, if you're joining us now, or if you've been with us since we started this conversation, my name is Simon Javan Okelo, and I'm the founder and executive director of One Vibe Africa. But I'm also an advisory board member of Northwest Art Streaming Hub, which is how we are able to have this conversation here today. And I would love for you to check out that website. It's northwestartstream.org. And today we talked about, my sister Aramis' story. We talked about her time growing up in Chicago when she was doing art as a young girl, and then, how she came to Seattle in 2013 and transitioned from just being, a critical care nurse to, a full-time artist, and the support she received from her family and her husband, Andy. And we talked about the mural that, together with a number of amazing artists, she did in Capitol Hill here in Seattle, in the area, called Chop. And then we just talked about her time in Ghana and the impact of her art. And I just want to thank you all for joining me today. There's really no other way I can appreciate you, because I know you all took your time off of other amazing things that you could have been doing. So with that, my dear, thank you again for making the time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Simon. Thank you for always supporting me from the very beginning. I truly,
yeah,
truly appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm happy to see this. So will this be available, you said, on YouTube, where people can watch it later if they didn't see the whole thing?
Most likely it's going to be here on One Vibe's Instagram page, but the link
Okay.
can be shared widely. I want to check because I was not sure if Nash was streaming it on Facebook and other platforms, but I'll check right after this and send you a link.
Okay.
Once you get on, you're on. Especially
Right.
this. Yeah.
Right.
So so I didn't pay attention to anything happening behind the scene. Yeah, but I also wanted to give a shout out to one of the very legendary musicians from Kenya. His name is Muzi Wanjeru. He is a part of Jabali Africa, which is an amazing band from Kenya. And then if there's any of your friends still here, just give them a shout out before we wrap up.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. Yeah, I had saw Martha came in. Actually, Martha was actually my RA, my resident assistant in college
Oh,
back in the day. She's now one of my
oh,
patrons on Patreon, so I'm super
mm,
grateful for her. Kayla was here. Jeanette was here.
mm,
Leah came through. Actually, Leah is a part of my team. She's been helping
mm,
me grow and expand and get more organized. So shout out to
mm,
Leah. So yeah, thank you all so much for coming and yeah, and joining us today. And thank you again, Simon. Thank you so much. Thank you to Vivian too for making this connection and being a part of Nash. So yeah, so grateful, super, super grateful.
thank you so much. You have a nice drive home, and continue swinging on those things. What do you call these things that you love to do? Um,
Oh, Aerial Silks.
yeah.
Keep swinging on the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually just reopened their studio, so I've been able to
Okay.
practice. So yes, I'm
Okay.
super,
Okay.
super happy
Okay.
about that. Yeah.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much. This was so
Okay.
nourishing for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Simon. You have a good night.
Okay, you too. Take care.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.